What's good everyone, it's Smudger here, and today we're going to talk about the new meta that appears to be emerging in Warzone. I played it pretty much for 8 hours straight today just to see what kind of people were running. I know that the DMR meta isn't gone, but it's definitely not as strong as it used to be, and people are looking for that next, absolute beast of a gun that's going to give them the advantage. I don't think there is one at the moment. I think there's definitely people leaning towards certain guns like the AMAX, obviously the Kilo's back in rotation, things like that. I have heard from a few people on Twitter, from a few different Twitch streams, that this next gun that we're going to talk about that's on screen now is where it's at. And so we're going to discuss the Stoner, what attachments you should run, why you shouldn't trust what the Cold War attachments say because they are bugged out to hell, they just are not accurate. And I'm going to really discuss why I put certain attachments on for this class setup, because it does look a bit strange with a couple of the attachments that I'm putting on, so I think it's important just to explain why I'm doing that, so let's get into it. So first off, like all class setups, obviously you're going to want to run a SMG with this, maybe the FFAR. If that's the sort of thing you want to, bear in mind they both do share the same ammo type, so you will run out of ammo just like doubly quick. SMGs, MP5 from either game, Mac 10 are kind of the best ones out there at the moment. Just as a caveat, this is not a fast gun, this is not the kind of gun where, you're going to be bunny hopping around corners with it and frying people from 20 metres. It's possible, but it's not its optimum distance, so just bear that in mind. First up is the optic. You're going to want to run either the 2x or the 3x, pretty standard. The 3x is a bit buggy at the moment, so I've been sticking with the 2x for the most part as I run it, so do bear that in mind. You'd hope they'd fix these things, but they don't seem to be moving pretty quick to do any of it, so 2x or 3x depending on how you feel. Muzzle attachments. You can use a muzzle that helps with recoil, but the recoil is quite literally straight up and down. Like you'll see in this clip, it literally just moves straight up, and so it's not hard to control. You can add, a muzzle attachment that reduces vertical recoil, like the muzzle brake, but it's going to help you a tiny bit. It's not really going to be worth it when you can use that attachment slot for something better. The recoil's super easy to control. It's very much like the Growls was before it got nerfed. I personally run agency suppressor. It increases the bullet velocity, which is the big plus here, and it increases it by around a quarter, about 25% I think it is. And when you're wanting to take opponents down as quickly as possible, getting as many bullets into them as quickly as possible is the best way to go, obviously. And so this is the best attachment as far as I'm concerned. Of course, it also keeps you off the map, which is ideal in Warzone. The big thing here is when you pair it with our next attachment, it increases bullet velocity by like over 100%. And that attachment isn't what you'd necessarily think. It's actually the Cavalry Lancer, which when you look on it, it says it increases vehicle damage. What it actually does, and this was found by JGod I believe, it increases the bullet velocity massively, so much so that when you're firing it, especially over longer distances, the bullet drop off is next to nothing compared to what it'd be like with a different attachment or no attachment at all in this slot. It's unbeatable, and when your bullets are travelling quicker, they're going to do more damage when they get there. Not necessarily in terms of the individual damage that each bullet's going to do, but you're going to get more bullets into the person, and that's going to cause more damage. It's going to win you more gunfights. It's going to be a lot harder for people to run away from you. So as a quick recap, right now we have the 2 or 3 time optic, depending on what you want, the agency suppressor and the Cavalry Lancer for a massive boost in bullet velocity. And that leaves 2 slots for you to essentially play around with. One of them is going to be taken up by the ammo choice, and the other one you have a choice of 3 different attachments is what I've whittled it down to. And that's going to be the Bruiser Grip, the Field Agent Grip, or the SAS Combat Stock. Make sure I get that one right. And notice that there aren't any specific kind of aim down sight reduction specific attachments here. That's because Cold War attachments are so bugged that the ADS reduction attachments don't seem to do much. You equip them and they make you feel like you're moving faster. As far as ADS speed itself goes, I didn't really see much difference. There definitely wasn't any reductions. At times it felt like they added ADS speed. I don't know what's going on with the attachments. I wish they'd look into it. I wish the integration was done better. I wish for a lot of things in this game. For the most part, just stay clear of them would be my advice. They're not really worth the hassle at the moment. And just choose between those 3, kind of which one feels the best to you. It is personal preference. I run the Field Agent Grip whenever I can for the most part. It is just personal preference. I know some people that swear by the Bruiser Grip. It is just one of those things. And then of course ammo is the next big one. You actually have a 75 clip in this, or 75 mag, whatever you want to call that. I'm not a gun expert. And you can go two routes here. One, you can equip the 75 round fast mag for quicker reloading, or you can equip the 120 round mag. So obviously you're not going to reload as quick, but you're going to have, 55 extra bullets in your magazine. In theory, that should be at least 2 or 3 downs before you need to reload. I personally run the fast mag. I can see myself switching over to the slightly larger magazine. The more I run squads, the more I run kind of solo trios. It's definitely better in that sort of situation to not have to stop and reload. But for right now, for kind of running duos or running, with other teammates, 75 is all I really need. If you think about it, how many bullets do you usually run in a kilo? It's, 50, 60 bullets. It's not that big a difference. That is just personal preference. Alternatively, you could just run nothing extra and kind of run with the standard magazine, and then one of those attachment slots that you freed up could be used to pick up another attachment like I mentioned earlier. That is just personal preference, sort of thing. You have to play with your game, play around, see what you like, see what you don't like. I'd be interested to see if the stoner does become the meta. I personally believe you're definitely going to see an increase in people using it, especially coupled with the FFAR, which I will have a video out on tomorrow probably. If not, it'll be on Monday, just covering that, the best class setups for both close and kind of medium range. You kind of be pushing it if you want to go really, really far range despite it being an AR. And that is where I'm going to leave it today. I want to know if you think that the stoner will become the meta. I personally do believe we'll see it for a little bit. We'll see a higher prominence of it around Verdansk. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.